السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرحبا بكم أيها الطلاب الكرام. It's time now for الأجوبة للأسئلة. Answers for the questions. Let's jump right in. The grading is the same as last time, so if you want to know what that is, we'll have it posted on here somewhere. And also, you can go back and look at it from the previous lesson.
All right, for number 1, we have a picture of a cat that has come up. And I want you to have answered saying, أذلك قط. So now you've asked the question and you have the choice. Do you answer with yes? And if you do answer with yes, you should say, نعم ذلك قط. But what if you didn't want to answer with yes? So when the picture comes up, you should ask a question that might say, أذلك حصان. Or you can say أذلك كلب or any other word here. Then the answer for that kind of question should say لا ذلك قط. As for number 2 should be the same way. And actually, before I forget, that question is worth 6 points. 1 point for each word. And number 2 will be the same way. Number 2, we had a picture of a bed come up. So you should ask, أذلك سرير? And if you answer with yes, you would say, نعم ذلك سرير. If you decided you wanted to answer with no, you would say, أذلك كرسي? Or any other word. You might say, أذلك مكتب or بيت. I can't see how anyone would get a bait confused with a bed, but it might happen. So you'd say أذلك كرسي, for example, and then you'd say لا ذلك سرير, also worth 6 points.
We said answer in Arabic. I asked you a question. ما هذا وما ذلك? And we had the images pop up. So we said ما هذا, you're supposed to say هذا بيت. And the other image, when it was smaller, you're supposed to point and say وذلك because it's farther away. And you have to add the word wa. And وذلك مسجد. Okay? So this one here, this is worth 5 points because of the whole sentence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the next one I asked you all, what is, oh, here we go. By the way, like when we say هذا بيت, you guys already know, وذلك مسجد. The harakat, I'm not grading you for them yet, but if you did place them, this is what you have. If you did place them and got them wrong, typically you would lose 1/3 of a point. You would lose 1/3 of a point if you got your harakat wrong. This is the grading system that I have. Next, question number 4, it says من ذلك? You should answer ذلك تاجر. Okay, ذلك تاجر. He's a merchant. This is worth 2 points. So this one over here, worth 5. This one over here, worth 2. Okay, let me erase this and then we'll get to number 5 and 6. Questions number 5 and 6. Answer in Arabic. And this is the same thing like before, still seeing the use of Ism al-Ishara. Ism al-Ishara is a demonstrative pronoun. Now, we had the sugar come close, so you should have said هذا سكر. All right? And the next one would be وذلك لبن. Now remember, if you write alif for dhalika, that would be a spelling mistake that would, if you put this alif, you lose half a point. Okay? Because that's a spelling mistake. If you said labanu, I'll get that. If you said labanu, you're going to lose a third. Okay? And then you're going to have to do some fractions after that. I'm sure you guys can go learn that in a math class. Or if you already know how to do it mentally, that's fine. Next, we're going to take number 6. We had the rock come, it was far away. So you said, ذَلِكَ حَجَرٌ, right? وَهَذَا بَيْتٌ. Okay? So again, you're going to go by how many words there are. 1, 2, 3 was by itself. 4, 5. This is worth 5 points. And this one is ذَلِكَ حَجَرٌ وَهَذَا بَيْتٌ. As is this next one. Okay? Remember, if it's left like this is a mistake. The correct way is tanween. We just wanted to point that out for you guys so you know how to grade it yourself. Last question. Let me erase this and we'll do number 7. Question number 7 was the difference between halib and laban.
All right, there's something I want to clarify about the extra credit question. Now, the word halib and laban, we did teach later on. We didn't teach it within lesson 2. It came later, so don't feel bad if you can't answer it. But I would like for those that might have watched past lesson 2, I would like them to remember that information, and then if they take the test, they will have retained that and be able to answer it. If you can't, you can still manage to score 1 point.
This question is only worth 2 points. Now, we said typically, generally, they mean the same thing as in they're both milk. We said as far as halib goes, it's usually the regular milk, the one that you buy, the galloned ones. And laban is the yogurt milk or buttermilk, okay? Now, if you're talking about in the past, during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, or when it talks about rivers of paradise, you find that it means they usually use this one, laban. So, as far as generally, laban and halib both mean milk. But if you're talking about right now, typically this halib is used for the regular milk, and this one is used for the yogurt milk, or it's used for buttermilk. Now, this is the test. The test was out of 29 questions. Total, it was out of 29 questions. So go ahead and grade yourself. If you had the extra credit at the end, you can add 2 more points. What we would like is that you get 80%. This is like the bare minimum. If you can't get 80% on this test, go back and read, go back and practice them. You should be able to get these things out faster and faster. In order to get 80%, you could only have about minus 5.5 from 29. So that would mean that if you got more mistakes than that, more than 5.5, you're probably going to have to, or you should, redo lesson 2 and practice that. Always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for tawfiq. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وإلى اللقاء والسلام عليكم.